because they like the duopoly to continue. If you don't vote, or if you vote informally, you are helping Labor, Liberal and Greens and Nationals. So the election in state government in Western Australia and in New South Wales are the only ones that have been audited. No federal election has been audited. So in our office we conjured up a bill, election integrity, election auditing bill, I can't remember what it was. We had two provisions in it. One was voter ID.
Yep.
But let's have a little bit of a detour. As soon as Campbell Newman came in as Premier, he brought in voter ID. What was the first thing Palaszczuk did when she came in? Removed it. Why? Because Labor Party votes repeatedly. So we had voter ID, but we also had the election auditing provisions. And what that means is we will have the audit of the Australian Electoral Commission voting processes before the election to make sure the systems are accurate and withstand scrutiny. Then we'll have another audit after the election to make sure the results are verified. We involved some of the best cryptologists in this country for their advice on the auditing provisions electronically as well as numerically. Now, the House of Representatives is a purely paper voting system. There are no voting machines in the House of Representatives and none in the Senate. None. So don't pay any attention to those rumours. In the House of Representatives, it's paper-based. You can do it with a pen or a pencil, doesn't matter, whatever you want. Then you put it in the ballot box, and then when they take it out and count it, you have scrutineers supervising it, checking it. And then then they've got seals on the ballot boxes, and no one touches a ballot box until the seal is broken and it's recorded, and then it's resealed afterwards and recorded. So it's pretty good. It's not completely foolproof because it just can't be. But it is. We're very happy with that. Now the Senate is partly electronic, but not electronic voting. It's you vote on a piece of paper, a long piece of paper. You vote above the line or below the line. Now there are so many candidates, about 140 in New South Wales last Senate election, that no human can possibly make those preferences, allocate the preferences. So what they do then is they scan your ballot paper into the computer, and then the computer spits out a screen showing how the preferences went, and then they check it against the paper ballot, or they check it against a sample of paper ballots to make sure it's working properly. And then once they've got all the votes in, they press a button, and all the preferences are distributed, and then out pop 6 names. That's how it's done. Now in that electronic processing, you can get hackers in. So they're now making sure that they can't get hackers in. So that's what the auditing process is about. So it's about the physical scrutiny and also the electronic scrutiny. But we do not vote electronically. We do use electronics to assign the preferences. Now preferences, who owns preferences? You do. Who decides preferences? We do. Who allocates them? We do. Right. Parties have got bugger all to do with it. So when we make a how to vote card, it is a suggestion. That's all it is. You don't have to follow it. Very, very important to understand. Pauline and I are the only ones who talk about that in the past years, saying you own your preferences. When someone says, how are you going to preference in One Nation? We say, no. You own your preferences. Here's how our suggestions are. Now, Pauline made a comment in Tassie because Jackie Lambie is disliked in